Hello, everyone! It's been a while, but your old pal Avenger Green is back. Some IRL stuff kept me from really getting down and doing some comic book reviews, but I think I could get back on track now. And what better way to do that than with the first Al Ewing comic covered on my channel? Behold, the Immortal Thor Issue 1. Now, why is this a big deal for me? Probably because I've been a massive fan of Al Ewing ever since his run on the Mighty Avengers back in 2013, and I've pretty much followed most of his career at Marvel, from Contest of Champions, Ultimates, Ultimate Squared, New Avengers, USA Avengers, and of course, most wider comic book audiences know him as the writer of the now legendary Immortal Hulk comic book. And he's also the current writer of X-Men Red for all you Krakoa era fans. Now, as you can see, I got the Brian Hitch variant, though that's mostly because the local store I went to sold out of the Alex Ross cover. And if you've seen my Doctor Strange videos, you probably know why that's a shame. And don't get me wrong, this Hitch cover is alright, but it's got more to do with Jonathan Hickman's upcoming Gods book that I'm not really interested in. Now, but let's get started. Now, as we start the book, you can definitely tell this was made by the writer of the Immortal Hulk because it starts with a quote from an old religious text. That fits the theme of the issue. Though this one is from the Elder Eddas rather than the Bible. Now, my first big praise about the book is the really stellar narration boxes. This is the combination of the old school scroll font, and yeah, the prose that are in the story, and even the font of the text itself, it really makes you feel like you're reading an old school high fantasy story, and it feels suitably epic for a title like Thor. Based on what I've seen of the issue, it seems like the narrator is none other than Loki, the god/goddess of stories. And I'm sure all you Agent of Asgard fans are really going to appreciate that, since, Al Ewing wrote that book. And another praise I really have for this book is Thor's characterization. And don't get me wrong, I've had plenty of fun with the more angsty take on Thor, or from the Aaron and Kate's years. But you know what? It's really nice to see a Thor that's more sure of himself, a Thor that is commanding. He does have that kingly presence. But as we see later on, he smiles. He has this sense of calm towards him that, honestly, he is kind of endearing. And he's naturally loved by not only the people of Asgard, but also the citizens of Earth. I love everything about this New York sequence where he just hangs out, where he stops some Orchis goons for picking on people, and yeah, he just ends up hanging out with the people he helped save. And of course, the art team, Emma Martin and Kokolo and Matthew Wilson do an amazing job on this book. The art looks epic and they get inviting, and actually kind of reminds me a bit of Oliver Coppel's art from way back when. And of course, Matthew Wilson I honestly think Matthew Wilson is one of the most unsung heroes of Marvel because their coloring is always on point. It always feels like it matches whatever panel is going for, especially in scenes like this where it's just the light of New York City reflecting off of Thor and his costume. And we get some brief stints of the other Asgardian. Each of them seems to be written well, including Loki to no one's surprise. In fact, considering Loki played a big part in restoring the Rainbow Bridge, and like I said, they're doing the narration of the book, you can definitely tell Loki's going to be an interesting part of this series. Which of course leads us to the crux of this book, and what I think is one of the best villain introductions I've seen this year. None other than this guy, Taurenos, the Utgard Thor. And just look at these pages. Everything about his introduction is spectacular. You got the narration building up the tension, asking the question of what would be to the Aesir, what kind of being would be to the Aesir as the Aesir to mortals. He has this complete black storm cloud look that makes Taurenos look and feel like the storm personified. Oh, and of course, my favorite part, the double page spreads. Sometimes it can be hard to bring a sense of scale for a character in a comic. But yeah, these two double page spreads, they really give Toranos like a huge sense of scale. You know, it feels like he is being on a level that mortals can barely comprehend. Like he operates on a completely different scale. And I really love that he has this one red, angry, glowing eye in contrast with his whole black color scheme look. But, you know, of course, Thor, he stands at the ready to fight against this colossal foe. For he's not just the god of thunder, he's the All-Father, the Avenger, the Gaea-Son. Oh, and speaking of Gaia, who most of you in the comics probably know, the personification of Earth and Thor's birth mother, it looks like she's going to be playing a big role in this series, since she's apparently the sister to Toranos, and another being from this unknown of Utgard, who calls himself the Utgard Loki. And according to him, Thor actually visited Utgard once before in his youth, and the God of Thunder is going to have to do so again, otherwise that's going to be the end of all that is. So, yeah, that's Immortal Thor issue 1. No debate, this is a definite must-read. I truly believe we're at the start of something amazing with this book and this creative team. If you love Thor, if you were a big fan of Immortal Hulk, if you're a fan of Al Ewing, or if you just like getting some real bang for your comic book buck, because this book is only $7, but it is a really thick issue. Like, I honestly felt like I got more than what I paid for with this comic. Then yeah, go to your local store and go pick up Immortal Thor issue 1. Sorry. I guarantee you'll have a blast. And as always, if you like this video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you always know when I upload a new video. It's great to be back, everyone, and here's hoping and I make some new videos. You can expect more on the Energon universe, Mech Cadets, finishing off We Are Scarlet Twilight. Oh, and of course, first I'm also probably going to be covering a certain webless wonder that just debuted recently. Until next time, have a great day.